Okay, I absolutely did not think I would be making this video, but here is my 2024 Hobonichi haul. I did it, I caved for Hobonichi, and I ended up ordering a handful of planners here, so let me show you what I got and how I think I'm going to be using them for next year. I ended up ordering my Hobonichis through Amazon this year because 1, I had a gift card, and 2, I had points, so I didn't have to spend any additional money, which is really nice this year. But just to note, I think with the prices on the US version of Amazon, it actually would have been about $5 cheaper to order directly through Hobonichi, even with the shipping. I would have preferred to order from like a third-party reseller, but because I had the gift card, this just made the most sense for me to get what I needed, and it showed up the next day, so that was really nice. So 2024, I think I'm gonna return to the Hobonichi Weeks Mega. This is the navy in the English edition, and man, I am obsessed with this color. I absolutely love it. It's the perfect blue. My favorite color is black, but blue is a close second, and I really like the gold foil press on the front. I think it's really elegant. It feels really me. And I have been dipping my toes in and out of the Hobonichi Weeks Mega for the last few years. 2021, I think it was my ride or die, but it's been sort of a shaky relationship ever since. And in fact, I have a sneaker mega for 2023 that I've been dipping in and out of throughout this year for fun as well. But I haven't really felt very inspired to use the mega the last couple of years. I have a habit of thinking I found kind of like the perfect layout, and then it loses its appeal to me in a way because I'm not being super creative or iterative with the approach, and there's something about a pre-dated notebook that kind of will lock me in to some sort of consistency. And the type of person that would like to have the exact same weekly layout spread over spread over spread in a notebook, which is part of the reason that I think I like switching like to a bullet journal pretty regularly, because I sort of release myself of that mindset every time I finish a notebook so I can try something new for the next notebook. But that being said, I have picked this back up again, and I've really been experimenting, especially with the weekly spreads, on how I want to use this. And let's just say I'm re-inspired and I'm really excited to try this again for next year. I have been dipping in and out of this, as I mentioned, so if you see some more videos of this for the last quarter of the year, I'm sorry for yet another move, but there is just something in my brain that once I think I've found a better thing for next year, I need to be in it right away. And I don't know if anyone else is like that, but especially because I have them in my house, I'm like, let me just go ahead and start the quarter four crazies a little bit early, and I've been experimenting. There is also the reality of quarter four that's kind of hit, and I have to face the music on how many notebooks I have been in. And when I'm thinking about next year, my needs, and kind of what the year has in store, one of the big things on the horizon is we're hoping to move cross country. So quarter four, I'm now realizing, oh my gosh, I have like 7 or 8 different notebooks from this year alone, and I'm starting to try and kind of consolidate those into one thing to keep on my shelf at the end of the year. And I'm really wishing that I had started the year off in something that I knew would contain it really nicely, like a Hobonichi Weeks Mega. So I'm the first to admit that I'm falling for this fantasy self that thinks she can be in one planner for an entire year again. But I have done it before, which means I can do it again. So fingers crossed, 2024, I can make the mega work for me one more time. By the way, this would probably be my personal planner / hybrid bullet journal if you've not seen me use a Hobonichi Weeks before. I'm not anticipating doing anything wildly different, but I am going to get more creative with how I use the weekly spreads, and that is what is exciting me most about this notebook. This is the Hobonichi Weeks that prompted the order, if I'm being honest. I love this design when I did my initial walkthrough of the 2024 lineup reveal for my patrons. But I had mentioned in that video to them that I don't typically care for this cover material because I don't like glossy things. I don't like glossy stickers. I don't like glossy photos or anything like that. I do like a little bit of foil every now and then. I love the star details. But I kept watching you guys unbox this and all of your Hobonichi haul videos, and the more I saw it, the more I just fell in love with it. I love black, I love navy, I love cats, I love stars, and how could I say no to this? So I decided to pick this one up, and this is kind of what sent me looking for the Hobonichis to begin with, and anyway, the rest is history. Here we are, but I'm planning on using this for my work weeks for 2024. I have been in a bit of a shift with work, so if things change drastically, I wanted to choose a planner that I felt was going to be the most adaptable, or something that I've used before in a way. So the Weeks is kind of my go-to planner. If I don't know how to plan something, I know I can make a week's work for it. So I thought it was a safe bet to pick up, and they're also easy to repurpose if things do shift dramatically enough that I could easily use this as like a reading journal or a prayer journal or any other kind of thing where I want to write down the notebooks, and I just absolutely adore this cover. So the A5 Hone was the wild card that I was not expecting whatsoever, because I thought if I wasn't able to leave Hobonichi this year that I would be sharing an A6 Hone, because I really have fallen in love with my A6 Techo Avec for 2023, especially as a memory keeper. But once more, thinking about what my needs are for next year, there's sort of an underlying theme of wanting a consistent book and to simplify a little bit, but still have plenty of room for creativity. And if I went with an A6 Techo for memory keeping, I was then also going to need a separate journal for other types of journaling, such as morning pages and vision journaling and ranting and all these kinds of things that I like to put pen to paper for. And I've frequently said that an A5 day per page is not enough room for me to do all the journaling that I want to do. But the thought of trying to balance multiple notebooks yet again kind of steered me back to thinking, okay, if I wanted to combine everything in one place, what is my one big book of everything? And the planner that kept coming to mind was the Hobonichi Cousin. I am really excited about this. I have been the most on the fence about it, but my mind shift I think has shifted a little bit, and this is feeling like a proper challenge, and I love a challenge when it comes to a planner. So I really am hoping to kind of, again, break out of my consistency mold just a little bit and try some new things in this notebook. Like, I really don't want to just vertical memory keep in the weekly spreads. I think I really want to use these very different from how I have in the past. I'm sure there's a lot of things that I'll continue from my previous iterations with the Hobonichi Cousin. But once again, I used to absolutely love this. This was kind of like my first touch into Hobonichi in 2019. I used the Cousin as my everything planner. It was my planner and my journal and my work planner, and I've since kind of needed a bit more separation in my life, but I am really looking forward to this, and I've been really thinking about how I want to use it, what I want to do differently, and I've been experimenting away with my 2023 Cousin as well. So I'm really excited for the challenge. I also am really excited to use a Hone. I think Hone. I struggle with the pronunciation, so I apologize. But one, I just absolutely love this cover. I think it's beautiful. The ribbon bookmarks also match the weeks, so that to me is just like a pro. I mean, like, come on, it's matchy. So I just think it's absolutely beautiful, and now that I've got it in hand and I'm thinking through how I want to use it, I'm really excited about this, and I think that it's gonna be good if I can kind of continue to be creative in my thinking like I've been for the last few days as I'm trying to come up with different ways of using this and experimenting away in my 2023 Hobonichis. I'm really looking forward to it. But I'm also pretty hesitant because, as I mentioned, I feel like every year in September, the hype of Hobonichi gets me, and I fall for this constant trap of thinking that, yes, I am this fantasy self version of Lindsey who uses one planner for the entire year, and she sticks with it for the entire year, and she fills up every single page. But the reality is I'm just not that girl anymore. I used to be maybe 4 or 5 years ago, but now I'm somebody who likes to experiment just a little bit too much. But when I was looking through the last 5 years and what I've been doing the most and what kind of year I'm anticipating 2024 to be in comparison to previous years, I was thinking the years that I was the most consistent with the Hobonichis are gonna be kind of in line with what I have upcoming. So I'm really, really hoping that this is the year that I can be that fantasy planner, and then if not, we'll switch it up and go from there. But I could do a whole other video just talking about planner shopping and why I do it. But one of the things I'm trying to do differently this year is not have alternatives in my house. I have a pretty bad habit of buying all the planners to lead up to a new year, decide what I want to use, and then instead of selling off the alternatives or returning them, they sit in a box in my closet. And then when I see someone's post online, I am inspired and I immediately reach for that planner that they're using because I probably have it in my house. So switching isn't so much of a hardship because it's already there. The barrier to entry is quite low. So this year I'm hoping that this ends my 2024 purchases. I have some blank notebooks in my stash already that I could switch to if I find that this is feeling a little bit restrictive for me in the future, but I don't want to have so many alternate or backup planners available as well. So I'm hoping to kind of cap myself here, and if I shuffle priorities around amongst what I've got, not a problem. We'll see where we land. But anyway, if you got a Hobonichi, let me know which one you got. Did you get any of the same covers as me? I feel like this one, these two in particular, were really popular this year. The next runner-up for me is getting the One Piece Weeks or the One Piece A6 Hone. If I can think of a valid reason to pick that up, I might just go ahead and get it because I love that design. But for now, these are the ones that spoke to me. I think they look really nice together. I'm excited to see what I'll create for these notebooks for 2024. But anyway, if you have made it this long, thank you so much for being here, and I will talk to you soon.